I haven't done a video for a while. I have a very busy month usually in October. I have my Salem trip. Those of you who have been following me know that I love Halloween the best, and I love my trip to Salem with my sisters in October. And we also have an annual masquerade party back in Massachusetts. So that has been keeping me busy. Then I got the bubonic plague, which felt like it anyway. I was sick for a few weeks, and that kept me from doing too much. So I'm back, and even through all of that, I was able to do some thrifting. So I thought I would do a thrift haul today, and then the next video I'll get into some different topics. But I've just found some wonderful things in Salem, here in Vermont as well, at some of the antique shops, and also at my former store, Nostalgia. Many of you know, but anyone new would not know, that my husband Mike and I owned Nostalgia Antiques and Collectibles in Providence, Rhode Island on historic Wickenden Street. We owned it for 5 years, and it was wonderful. I loved it. I still miss it. We sold it, and it's still running, and a good friend of ours is running it, and that we're thrilled because he's doing a great job keeping it going. But I do go in there whenever I get back to Rhode Island, and I always find deals, and that happened to me again a few days ago, so I'll share those with you. So let's get started. I'm going to start with something I found in Salem. I have a good friend, Jackie, who runs an antique store on Pickering Wharf, and she buys these, fortunately, and I collect them. So every year now I try to buy a new one from her. And this is a beautiful 1950s mother of pearl with rhinestones. It is a carryall, minaudier. There are very many words for it, but basically it is a carrying case for makeup, maybe a little bit of money, sometimes cigarettes. And this one is not only special because it's in beautiful shape and has this gorgeous like abalone shell and rhinestones, but it is also engraved on the back, and it says Judy from Chuck. So it has a little bit of special extra because of that. And inside is a beautiful mirror. It still has the sticker on it. I don't think this was ever used. It's wonderful. It still has a little statement here: your emotions affect your common sense. So I don't know if this was out of a fortune cookie back in the 50s, but it's very interesting that it's still there. And then the powder container is there as well with the powder puff. And this was used probably for change. It's just a little container here, a little mini purse. And of course it has a lipstick. And this one does not, actually it does have, I don't know if it's for cigarettes in particular, but there is an extra spot here. And it has, I assume this was used once at least, because it has a handkerchief in it with a little bit of a lipstick mark on it. So again, I'm leaving that there because that's provenance, and that's always very special. So that is the first item that I found in Salem from my friend. And along the same lines, I found another one at Nostalgia when I was there the other day. This is a similar thing from probably the same period, 50s, but it's tapestry in the front. I don't have anything like this. I have handbags, vintage handbags that have tapestry, but I don't have anything like this little compact, or big compact in this case. And it also has a lipstick. It didn't come with it, but one of my vendor friends, she's a good friend of mine now, her name is Jeanette, she gave me a deal on this. And so I got the lipstick and the beautiful carryall for one price. And when you open this, again, probably from the 50s, it looks very similar to the last one that I showed you. And there is another compact here with powder still in it. And again, a little purse for your change. Whoop. Lost my lipstick there. Little change purse there. And of course a lipstick. And a place, again, for cigarettes or money or whatever you'd like to keep there. Handkerchief like our last carryall had in it. So that is my second prize that I got along with the lipstick. And this is a lipstick. There's nothing in it, but it is a turning lipstick to open it and enclose it. As we know, or many of us do know, that the lipsticks of the earlier years, 20s and 30s, had a push-up lipstick. but this is a turning lipstick, just like we see nowadays. But that didn't happen, I think, until the 40s. So that is a newer lipstick. Along the same lines for beauty, I was on eBay the other day, and I could not resist. I saw this Art Deco. I've never seen a compact like this. This is Art Deco, typical design for the period, so it's either 20s or 30s, and it is probably celluloid. And you open it up, and it's a little compact and mirror. It's just so unusual. And there's the little place for the powder, and it has a little bit of powder in it, and then it's been used because it has a little bit of staining on the powder puff, which is fine with me because being used again gives it a little special life of its own, and then it's getting a second life here with me. So I was able to get this for $15 on eBay, and I was thrilled because I have nothing like this one. In nostalgia as well, I found this wonderful jar. These are easy to collect nowadays. I got this for only $4. I have two others similar to this, and they were just used on ladies' dressing tables or vanities to put various things in. It could have been powder, it could have been creams that they would have put in there. And this one is a beautiful amber color and the green celluloid top that goes with it. So this was really a good deal at $4. I also found a jar. There's a young man at Nostalgia who actually digs up bottles, if you can believe it, all kinds of wonderful containers and old bottles, cleans them up and sells them. And this one is Marvelous Cold Cream, Richard Hudnut, New York. And I know that name because of the cosmetics research that I do and looking into old vintage compacts and makeup, etc. And this doesn't have the top on it, but I just loved it because it's so clear. It says cold cream. It was only $3. It has a very fancy bottom as well. And in the same store for $3, I got this beautiful Yardley powder. This is full. This is probably from it could be from the 40s or 50s. And it's English Lavender Yardley Talc Powder. I'm not going to use it because it's older, not probably great for the skin at this point, but the container is gorgeous. It's in good condition, and it's full of powder. So I was thrilled to get that for $5. In the same store, in Nostalgia, this box, I love cigar boxes because they're so unique, and you can put anything in them, use them as storage. But this was very serendipitous that I found this because I do a lot of Downton Abbey fashion presentations. And especially since the movie came out, I had kind of resurrected it for some of the places that I go to, libraries, senior centers, etc. This was a Highclere Castle. It is a Highclere Castle cigar box. Beautiful shape. It's felted on the back, and it was only $5. I had to grab it. Inside, it says Highclere Castle, and it even has a separate top and another compartment inside. So I had to have that because one of the best events that I do is the Downton Abbey. So I was thrilled to find that. And it also at Nostalgia, again, my craziness with Halloween and how much I love orange, black combinations because of the holiday. I bought this barrette for $4 from a good friend of mine at the store as well. And I like this size barrette. It's really versatile. And the orange and black were just not to be resisted. So I got a good price on that as well. It's probably an 80s barrette is my guess. I have a Halloween tree. It's really up all year round. We just highlight it more at Halloween. And this little cute little pumpkin, I like to get little ornaments for my Halloween tree. I always get a new one in Salem every year. This one I got at Nostalgia for $1. So he's going to be going on my tree as well. A perfume bottle I found at Nostalgia, and it was just so beautiful. It was only $12. I don't know the age. It doesn't look really old, but decorative art-wise, it's just perfect. It'll look really nice on my bureau with some of my other vintage pieces. I lost my light there for a second. But it has a nice etching on both the back and the front and a beautiful stopper. So again, just for decorative purposes, I may end up putting something in it. I'm not sure yet. But that was a bargain at $12. It's in beautiful shape. Crazy person with orange. I've been looking for this exact color orange neckerchief or bandana, if you will. I have these in many colors. I wear them more in the summer to keep my hair up. I have to actually cheat because I know this was a deal. This scarf was $4. And because it was my favorite color that I've been looking for so long, I had to grab it. So that was lucky as well. We have this funky hat. I could not go home without this. The 70s are always coming back in, and in the magazines this fall, there was a lot of 70s inspired fashion. I remember having a hat made of denim in the 70s when I was a teenager, and it was the same shape, just all denim. And this one not only has gold lace on the top, but it also has wonderful floral decoration and little pins, little black, what looks like a jet pin. Now I have hat hair. But anyway, this is just a lovely hat, $6 from one of my other vendor friends. So that was wonderful. These pants, leggings, jeggings, whatever you want to call them, I can never resist a brocade. And this is a purple, deep purple brocade velvet legging. And these were inexpensive. Purple slacks, $12. I got these for $12 at Nostalgia, and I already know I have a purple and gold sweater that I had thrifted, I think at the same store, and it'll look perfect with these. And they're just very rich. They're nice for holiday time as well. You can really dress these up or down. So that was a bargain. I am a sucker for vintage inspired prints. This skirt is either from the 80s or the 90s, early 90s. I loved it because of the vintage print. And it's not normally my style. I wore these in the 80s with the buttons down the front. And they're lovely. They're classic. But I don't wear a lot of skirts now. I live in Vermont. I'm not doing any kind of work outside the home except for my events. But this would be a really good skirt to wear, to an event or even out to dinner somewhere, just because it's unusual. The print is, again, very vintage inspired, and you can even really dress this down and make it kind of funky with a t-shirt. So it doesn't have to be too conservative. You can really dress it up or dress it down, and it has pockets. So I couldn't resist that skirt. That skirt was, I think, the most expensive thing I bought, and that was, I'm cheating here, it was $23. So that was a little more expensive than, what I would normally spend if I go to a thrift shop. But this one was unusual because of the print, and it fits, so I couldn't say no to it. And last but not least, I'm going to have to turn my camera here. You see here, this is a blouse from the 80s. It's tough to see up close, but what I love about it is banded at the waist. It's not a tuck-in blouse. It's meant to be untucked, and it has a button band at the waist and this lovely tie. And the cut of the back really shows that it's a 1980s. I'm sorry I don't have a better picture of it. It's a little farther away than I meant to put it. I'm going to sneak by and bring it up. Now you can see it a little better, and it has this wonderful tie. And if I turn it around, the way you can tell it's 80s is this sort of this yoke in the back. That really is a giveaway, in addition to the tie in the front. They did that in the 70s as well, so this could be a late 70s, but I suspect it's more of an early 80s. And I just thought that the plaid was special, and it's in beautiful condition, and it's different than your usual tuck-in blouse. It's more of an unusual shape than we usually see during that period. So that's it for today. It's a very long thrift haul. I apologize for that, but I haven't been around. So I'm going to be more regularly doing these videos, and I will do different types of videos as well, whatever appeals to you. So please leave in the comments below anything that you'd like to see or hear about. I do a lot of research, and I know a lot about vintage clothing and historic fashion, so I'm happy to talk about any topics you'd like. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.